So today we're talking about the most difficult statistical procedure that we're going to do this year, and it's used a lot. And I hoped to read a whole lot of stuff ahead of time so I could tell you about it, but I ran out of time. But there's this book you can get called Super Crunches, which unfortunately is not in the library, but it talks about how these techniques, regression and correlation, but particularly regression, are being used in the business world to do amazing things. Now this year we just do regression with one predictor, but if you do MSci 210 next year or some further statistics, you'll learn about multiple regression. And that's where you use lots of different things to try to predict stuff. And one example in Super Crunches they start off with is predicting the price of wine. Now this guy found out that he could work out a formula that was based on the temperature at certain times of the year before, and various things like that, and he could predict what price different wines would get better than all of the wine experts could by using regression. Basically you collect data and you use the data you've got to work out what is the rule that actually happens, and he was able to do that. And time again, and in this book it talks about it, there are things that you cannot predict, or that people think they can predict just the top of their head or whatever, but in fact using these regression equations is much more effective. So what we're doing this year is just giving you the idea of it, and then if you find it interesting you need to move on to stage 2, but also you'll find that there's a whole lot of applications that you'll understand a lot better knowing how it works here. Okay, now one thing I found from years ago is that there are two ideas in regression. One is to do with the line fitting and one is to do with the inference. And if you bundle them both together, it makes it really hard to understand. So what I did was in Module 2, we did line fitting. So I'm hoping that you all remember how we fitted lines. And now we're going to use the principles of inference, using confidence intervals and hypothesis tests, like we've just been doing, to that stuff. And you'll see how it all fits together. I'll give you some ideas on how to write a report, and then we'll also look at correlation, which is a little bit different from regression, and just briefly talk about these important words here.